Well, welcome into the Tyrell McCrea show, and it's off week. And I don't mean that me and him are off. It means that we don't have a game this week here at Chaparral, Coach. Mm-hmm. Get you a little time to rest up after that non-district schedule.
Yep.
Man, I tell you what, that was a bear. You played some tough teams. You come out with a winning record, though. You got to feel good about that.
Yeah.
Had Lampasas out here the other night. That team is going to go probably really, really deep into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a solid team. Like I said, I think in their district they'll face Brownwood and Stephenville. So got to see them a little bit last year. Played against them down there at Badger Field. But this year, like I said, they came and they executed. They didn't really have. They had an almost mistake-free game, except for later in the second half. But it exposed some of our holes that we need to fix, and that's why it's good that we ran into an off week so we can fill those holes.
Yeah, perfect spot for a bye week in between non-district and district play, and that was is that something you got to do, or is that something that fell your way?
No, it just fell my way, and I think across the board, some of the district opponents are doing it the same way. Go through preseason and then have a bye and then head into district.
Yeah, if you get everybody, that works out pretty good.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Health-wise, you coming out pretty good so far?
Yeah, we have, I would say, one or two maybe key guys that are banged up. We lost one kid. Well, we didn't actually lose him. He just has a cast, and so he just wraps up the cast, and he's a DB, so hopefully he could just knock the balls down instead of catching them now. But other than that, yeah, across the board we're pretty healthy. We got a couple banged up, but we have some capable backups that we put in place.
What does an off week consist of for those guys? They sit in the hot tub and get a little whirlpool?
No, if you're hurt here, you're going to do more than what you would do at practice just to make sure that you're rehabbing, and so that's
constant motion.
Oh, no doubt. And it's one of those things that kind of shies you away from being in the tub. You know how they say you can't make the club in the tub, so we make sure that guys are actively rehabbing, working with our trainer, and we got a great trainer here, Coach Simpson. She does a good job with them, so we just make sure they're actively and then they're engaged whenever they're not working out. They're engaged in what's going on.
So it's just a regular week. You just like you would any other week. Practice pads Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday too. This time.
We kind of took off their legs. We kind of went half shell again to kind of fill out those holes that we saw that we needed to work on from Friday. And so we can just slow everything back down because, again, we hit them pretty fast and hard just because it was late in the game. And so kind of making sure that they understand what we've been throwing at them. And so we just slow it down. And then this later in the week we'll pick back up to get ready for the next opponent.
More film study?
Oh, yeah. Well, right now they're studying their school books because we got to make sure that we're on top of that as well. So we've been giving them a lot of time and monitoring as they go to tutorials after school. So that's also been a good part that it came here and came now because we can make sure now we have time to go make sure that the schoolwork is done.
Yeah, and all athletes in KISD are offered tutors, right?
Doubt. Oh, no doubt. We have it in the morning and afternoon, and so our freshmen go in the mornings since they practice in the afternoons, and then our upperclassmen go in the afternoons since we practice in the mornings.
That's awesome. They didn't have that when I was a kid. It's either you made your grades or you got in trouble. And we didn't want to get in trouble back then.
Nah, we're going to stay on top of them. That's the priority here.
Well, on in life, they've got to, that's part of one of those life lessons, whatever you want to call it, you've got to pay your bills on time. You got to do this, got to do that. Same thing with the grades. You got to make those grades or you can't play football. Yep. If you're not smart enough to get that job, you're not going to get that job.
Exactly. A little bit of accountability on their part.
Well, that's good. Teaching young men and molding young men is part of your job, and that's the fun part, right?
I don't know about fun, but
it's rewarding.
There you go.
In a couple of years when they come back and tell you how much you meant to them.
That's a good one.
Things like that. They say, Coach, you really taught me a lot. I didn't think so when I was listening to you.
Tell me about it.
But later on, I know you probably look back on some coaches that were influential in your life too that have done that. And people don't realize how hard a job you have. You're a daddy not only to your own kids but to a couple hundred other kids out here too.
You're right. So, like I said, it's something that in the future I look back on and say, yeah, we were in a good spot and set them up for the future.
You're gonna know Cedar Park by like the back of your hand by next week, right?
That's the game plan, but again, it's not what I know; it's what we give to our kids.
Yeah,
what they can produce on the field and what they can kind of reiterate in the game plan. So that's what we're doing. We already started kind of breaking them down and trying to just find tendencies and little things that'll help our kids be successful.
It's going to be interesting to have a game out here on Thursday night and you're not playing in it.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be fun. I get to walk out there and go check it out and just, be a fan for a little bit and kind of enjoy not having a game plan for a week.
But it's still your house.
Ha! I can't say that. That's
right.
Comment.
No comment. We don't want to start anything.
Yeah,
Dan trying to start it up. That's all it is.
That's
all it is. So Tyrell's just working hard out here with the kids in the off week, working on their grades, making sure they get everything done. Kids are looking good, healthy, ready for Cedar Park. So I guess that's about you and all I have to talk about. We're going to have a fundraiser coming up at Raising Cane's soon, so I'll get that out to the people as soon as you get me the information for that.
I will.
And I will come out whether it's on one of my game nights or not, or show nights or not, and kind of MC or whatever you want me to do.
Sounds good.
Bring my turntables, and throw down,
I appreciate it.
Just come out and support the guys.
Yeah, like I said, we'll probably set a time where we'll be out there together so we can all, break bread and enjoy ourselves.
That's pretty cool. It's family. Family's coming together, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Doing a good job, Tyrell.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you taking time out on your off week to talk to me too, brother.
Off week. Yeah, I wish I was.
Not an off week ever, is it?
Never in this seat.
Bye week.
Bye week. There we go. Bye week's better.
All right. Well, you have a good one, brother.
Appreciate you.
You are watching I-14 Sports Network.